So I'm just going to go through a few slides here to talk about why ICIS is important to BC assessments. We could just roll along, Barry. Just give you all there. So some of the issues from a BC assessment point of view, I don't think I need to tell anybody. In BC, at the rate of evolution in terms of property growth, we've seen a huge increase in workload over the years, and not unusual. I guess everyone is facing the same challenge in terms of matching workload to staff. So what we have been doing is trying to leverage technology as a key part of our strategy. I found when I joined BC Assessment 3 years ago, got involved with the organization, and then at the same time got involved with ICIS, I was really intrigued by the fact that the organization was so grounded in the use of GIS as being an important element of how we do business. And the whole evolution of, I call it geospatial tools, gives you that visual, not only a visual view, but an analytical tool that lets you really look at how you can become more efficient. And I think there's a lot of power in being able to see things visually, and that's what we're finding internally with our assessors in terms of doing their work, evaluating properties, and so on. So there's a benefit internally, and there's also a benefit in terms of interfacing with our customers. I think others have mentioned that by presenting information in a visual form increases that whole process and the dynamic of how you work with customers. So in simple language, it's the use of electronic or digitized maps, pictures, photographs, images, call it what you want, but it's smart information that can be used to really energize your processes internally and with your customers. So for us, in order to do this work, we need this base layer. And obviously from the discussion that we've already had, you can see that ICIS is key in terms of providing that base information. It's the foundation that we all build on. So for us, what we do is we take that base information and we build what we call the assessment fabric, where we start bringing in our information. So, it's a very simple representation. We start off with that basic map, the parcel layouts, the parcel representation. And then just the next picture, an example, you start adding now other types of information. So this is just one illustration of that. And what we're looking at is bringing together a number of pieces of information. So there's a street front picture that you see there. The next one, some data from what we call our CAMA system, where we do mass appraisal. Orthos and obliques. So we get aerial photographs, top-down photographs, and angle photographs of properties, and as well sketches. Historically, we would have done sketches, and now what we're doing is bringing all of this imagery and information together into a desktop. So typically, what we use in this situation is a desktop with 3 screens, just to capture all of the real estate that you need to do the analysis. And essentially what we're doing, if you look at it this way, instead of sending an appraiser to the field to physically visit the property, we're bringing the property to the appraiser. And this particular technique that we're using works in dense urban areas. I think over time, as the costs come down, it'll get rolled out to more of our organization, but it gives us the ability to do about 95% of the properties in a dense urban area, to do the actual appraisal and put the value on the property. And that has a huge productivity increase for us in terms of the amount of people time that has to be spent in terms of appraising property. The other cost that we have now is cost of imagery, but when you put the two together, it's a much more cost-effective solution. And this last picture is just simply showing all of those pieces together in an integrated way. So what we've had to do is build tools that integrate that imagery. So when the appraiser clicks on a property, all of these different pieces come up from our imagery database, and it's put together for that individual to bring their expertise to the table to do the analysis. The other thing I just want to mention here, and this really probably relates to the next later agenda item, but out of this has emerged, again, more opportunities for partnering, which is, I think, consistent again with the ICIS mandate. The whole process of acquiring imagery, the more collaboration we can do with local governments, utilities, and others, there's opportunities to save money, to be able to get lower cost per unit, and to be able to do more of this faster so we can keep more up to date, in our case, with our inventory. In the case of local government and utilities and so on, it also lets them do more quicker, faster, lower cost. What I'd like to do is just take another minute of our time and ask Tom O'Brien to come up. Tom is a senior GIS analyst in BC Assessment, and Tom is going to just mention a specific opportunity we've had as a result of the whole relationship with ICIS to improve how we do business.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Tom O'Brien, and I am a GIS analyst at BC Assessment, and we've been working with ICIS, I think since day one. BC Assessment does collaborate with ICIS in many different ways, but a big part of it is the assessment fabric, which is the foundation of all the technology that Harry was introducing. We have a small team, and we've just managed over many years to build the assessment fabric out to almost the whole province. So I think we have 1.9 million or greater than that now mapped in the assessment fabric. So what we've done more recently is tried to create a maintenance cycle, and a lot of that is automation. And that automation process depends on the cadastre data sets that ICIS has provided to us. And it's not only the combined data sets, it's also the standardized schemas that are in them. So really, without ICIS's help and without the collaboration that we've had with ICIS, none of this would have been possible. We're now able to update these jurisdictions